All right, so last couple weeks we've been working on half guard options. We're going to work today on passing high side. So we worked on weave passing and sprawling through. This time we're going to work on how to pass, more controlling the head and chest. So we're here. Corey's going to be framing, doing things. I don't appreciate that. So boom, I'm going to make sure I clear this leg out of the way if I need to. Then I'm going to look to get chest to chest, getting Corey flat on the mat. Now when I'm here, I'm not driving over the top of Corey. I'm staying in my base and I'm pulling him into it here. That way I can use my shoulder to turn that face away from me. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to obviously be working to keep this underhook as much as possible, but my biggest goal is to keep him flat on the mat here tonight. All right? Now, once we're here, our foot that is inside of the half guard, this bad boy here, I'm going to look to put that foot flat on the mat as close to his butt as I can. So I'm here. Now, as soon as that happens, I'm going to use my shoulder in his face here, and my backhand's going to come to his knee, thigh, somewhere back here. Right? I'm going to look to push that down, driving that knee across. Now, ideal world, you just land straight and mount, you get to settle in, good things happen, right? Most of the time, you're going to drive that knee across. Corey's going to trap that ankle. That's fine. All you're going to need to do is either reach back with this hand and clear it, or my preferred way, I like to scoop this arm up, kind of take everything real tight up here, then use my other leg to peel that off. Either way is fine, just more of a preference. The more active you can use your feet in prying that off, the better off you'll be. All right. Questions on that initially, and we'll walk through it a few more times, but most of you have seen that before.
Are your feet in any danger when you do this? Like, is there any risk at all doing this?
I mean, life is a risk, but your risk in this position is minimal. As far as like them scooping under you, or what are you worried about? Yeah, if I control the head, they shouldn't be able to get to like a deep half or something like that. So the big mistake a lot of people make here is they go, oh, I'm just going to kind of sit here and I'm going to half-ass hold his head. And then Corey frames this arm away, pushes that, and then starts to scoop underneath me. So biggest thing here is when I grab this shoulder cuff here, I'm pulling that in and I'm using that to keep him looking the other way. You don't get to look me in the eyes. We're not equals. Look down, look away. That's how we treat them.
Okay.
Yes.
So Tuesday when we did this, we went elbow to the hip.
Yeah.
So did you do that? You went that elbow to that hip. So we went
This elbow here,
that elbow.
and dropping this back here. Yes, you.
No, you took that elbow that's under his head and put it over here when we were passing.
Yes, that was the third option. Yes, we will get there later.
How do you keep them from scooping it? Never mind. We'll get to that.
So are you talking about getting scooped from here?
I got it. Never mind. Excuse myself.
Okay, thank you. Boom, we're here. Boom. Foot flat, push the leg, drive across. If you need to, scoop the arm, open the leg, ankle out. Settle into mount. Questions on this one, Shane? Me, if I'm here, depends on how deep of a grip or how long of arms you have. So if you're blessed with short arms like myself, you're just going to look to cup the shoulder or do that. If you have a little bit longer arms or you're willing to commit, you can come to that head lever here and kind of come into the back of that or the top of that armpit. Some people do that. If you just get a good grip here, it doesn't have to be from the hand. Hand just helps.
Shoulder's huge in this though.
Yep. JJ?
So, also short arms.
Yes.
I usually go heavy in on the shoulder pressure to the neck.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. This is you don't look at me, shut your mouth when you're talking to me type feel. That's the kind of pressure I want here. That way he doesn't have room to move and do things. He's got to focus on the pain in his throat, and that's what's going to allow me to pass. It's the same thing we talk about all the time of, if I can get all your focus and mental energy, why does my face hurt? It's really hard to focus on what's going on with your legs.
But as far as because you're pulling him towards you so he can't run away.
Yeah.
So usually I have a hard time getting a lot of movement because I'm barely getting his shoulder.
Yeah.
As long as he's still, I don't need to move.
Flat and chin away, I don't care anything else that's happening.
Okay.
So if he's here, So I like to pull them in just because it gives me more shoulder pressure. But if I'm here and I can get his chin turned, that's fine. That's still gonna allow me to do everything I want.
Remember I told y'all, you get caught when you throw the shot, when you get changing, that's when you are open.
Other questions?
You gonna come back.
One, two, and three. Back here, Mr. Van Adventures in the half guard. Boom, I clear this leg out. But now once I'm here, I'm gonna still go to that same shoulder pressure, but instead of trying to pass facing him, I'm gonna sit to this hip. And when I go to this hip, my bottom leg, I'm putting that knee just on top of his hip bone here. Just that little bit above, and I'll spin here in a second so you can see that better. That way I control this hip, I'm pushing his hips that way and his chin that way. So that way if Corey goes to move or do anything unfriendly here, I have a lot of bodily control here, right? Now, I'm gonna keep my bottom toes active here, and I'm gonna look to free this leg, because most people are gonna try to lock down your ankle or do all those things. All you generally have to do is palm to the inside of the knee, open that, bop, big back step here. Now, when I back step, my leg is not straight. It's posting into that 90 here. Because if Corey doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu, he's gonna start to bridge into me and start to do things, right? So Corey goes to bridge here, boom. I'm gonna keep a hold of that leg, keep a good base here, good shoulder pressure. Because you're gonna feel that kind of 8-second rodeo ride there where they're bucking and moving, trying to not let bad things happen, right? So that Corey goes to do all that, he bucks, he moves, he does all that, and then you're gonna feel that kind of moment where he kind of accepts the position. As soon as he does that, all you're gonna look to do is clear the leg over, big high step up, pop, right back to mount. You'll hear this referred to as back step, overstep. It is a good technique to have in your wheelhouse from a variety of positions, but it's nice especially from half and side, because you can back step into side and then right back into mount. All right, so we're here, I'm gonna turn it this way.
Do you get points for passing it? Okay.
So boom, we'll be here, boom, I'll clear, boom. This leg, right on top of this hip. So without my leg in, that's where I want this, is right on that hip bone here. That way it controls that hip with still having active toes in the mat. So we're here, I free the leg out, pop. I keep a good solid grip here, Corey relaxes, pop. Big overstep back. Then you're in the mount. Nice part with this is, as Kat asked, you'll score pass and then mount pretty quickly.
Would there be any benefits to, like, your back step, you immediately, like, just quick?
If you realize that they've kind of abandoned the position, so like I'll get here with Corey, right? Boom, I'll be here and I'll be in this half guard, right? Boom. Let's say I boom hit this and Corey starts to instantly come up into me and I don't feel like I can base hard. Sometimes you can just overstep and kind of get through that. Most of the time you want to have a good base here, because if they bridge hard and they catch you in the middle of that and he bridges hard into me here, you're going to get caught. So that's why I keep my base here, so that way when Corey goes to bridge, I have some sort of a stable base here, then I can come back to that mount. So it's not one I would rush if I don't have to. Now, 10 seconds left, you got to score big, go. All things are situational, but I would 9 times out of 10 want to hit that hard base.
Do you care about stepping over the hand, or does it matter to you?
Stepping over his hand?
Well, when I push, do you care about step over? Does it matter now?
I don't love it, but it does. But when I'm here, I'm gonna go here, and as soon as I go to step over, I'm pulling this down, and as I come up,
Okay.
I'm digging here. It's kind of a simultaneous, like,
Okay.
this should be digging about the time, you know, this foot hits. By the time it hits, this hand should be halfway to an underhook.
It's not a big deal.
No, because biggest thing that people got real antsy with that about is if you get here and somehow get yourself stuck, which can, like, if he reaches up and grabs around my waist right now, yes, my arm's trapped. But as long as you're doing that in pretty quick succession, where I'm gonna pull these here and start coming up for that underhook, I wouldn't leave that hand behind, but I wouldn't be afraid to step over it.
And you gotta hold it for 3, so
Yeah.
you gotta make sure you're secure on the setup.
Is there any difference in the same thing as last time, the nogi and
No, not big. Biggest difference in Nogi is instead of setting this grip, I'm gonna pinch my thumb into the side of his ear. That's the only real difference is I will pinch him here, where this allows me to pull him. It's the only major difference. So think of it this way. I'm trying to pinch my thumb back this way as opposed to pull that gi that way. It's the only major difference, gi to Nogi.
Read it again.
Yes. Other questions, JJ?
I'm not really sure, but is there a wonky leg entry when you first get your foot over? It seems like you can maybe get your right arm under his leg and then maybe go for something. I don't know.
Like if I go here, can he start to scoop?
Yeah. Is
Go
he?
here? Yes. But if your base is bad, yes. Because what will happen is you'll come here and he'll start to scoop your knee up. But if you get your knee down, if someone can scoop your leg out from underneath you and take you into legs from here, something else has gone terribly wrong in your like leg conditioning or anything else in life.
There'd be too much space in here.
Yeah, could they? Yes. Is it on the likely spectrum? I'd say no. Other questions? Because those are all good questions, guys. Keep asking those. That's the type of stuff you need there. So I'm here. Me and Corey are going. Boom, I clear it. I get him here. I sit to my hip, get my foot planted. Boom, I'm hand fighting here till I feel like I can escape my foot. Big back step. I brace, brace, brace. Big overstep. Secure your mount. Get your points. Violence is needed.
Are you getting an underhook on that side when you mount?
Yeah, I'm always going to be reaching for that underhook.
I just noticed. So you're going palm down when you do
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Because I can spider it then.
So I feel like it's really important that I keep active toes on the hip leg.
Yes.
That I really keep my toes really active and driving it.
Because think of it this way.
Because I think I get lazy on that problem.
Because when I'm here, if I don't have my toes in the mat, let's just say I'm kind of half-footed here, that's going to have a real easy slide even on grippy mats. So now imagine a pure grappling mat where it's slip and slide if there's
Really pay attention to the mechanics of my active toes on that hip.
Yeah, I'm trying to dig those 4 toes. You may not get your big toe in, but I'm trying to dig with those 4. That way when I get here, I have a good athletic base. I'm floating here. That's what allows me to come up. And Kat, to answer your question, the reason I go palm down, have you ever seen me spider the mat? That's why. So when I dig underhooks, Corey's big and strong, right? He's not going to let me just dig those underhooks. So he's going to start to collapse those elbows. Spider walk it. That's why. All right, drill her out. 1, 2, 3. So Corey's here. We're in the half. Boom. I clear this knee out. But let's say for whatever reason, I can't get chest to chest with Corey. He's got good frames. He's got whatever, right? Like sometimes guys are just good at keeping you off chest to chest. So instead of going chest to chest here, all we're going to do, our outside hand is going to come to that hip. And we're going to look to slide into that same position that we were on. Big detail here is I want to make sure I get this elbow to the inside of this wrist. As we get there, I'm going to scoot back that little bit, getting that knee right back on top of the hip like it was last time. Same pass, just from a slightly different position. You're just facing away at this point. Now, when you're here, we're going to open those legs up, back step, but instead of trying to go overstep from here, because that's a little bit tougher, all we're going to do is walk back into north-south. Here, secure our pass points there. At most. Some tournaments suck and they don't score that. They're stupid and they're ugly. And I don't like them. I just don't. It's just not, it doesn't make sense. You're past the guard. How is that not a pass?
Bad parenting.
So boom, I'm here. Boom, I'm going to dive that hand in and look to get to this hip. Now if you have the grips, I don't mind a good hip grip here, because that helps you kind of scoot and get in here. If there's no pajamas, you can just scoot in, right? Boom, I'm here. Boom, back step. Walk your hips either back or into side control. 75% the same pass, just going from that reverse half instead. Questions on this one? Like I said, we were grabbing that last one easy, so that's why I wanted to move to this quickly. Then I'll show you one dirty trick from top half guard that I like. Because no one can ward me when I'm in their half guard. So I'll break their arm. You can't attack my arms if I'm attacking yours. Isn't that right there? Isn't that right? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're here, and let's assume that I'm in top, and I'm trying to get to all this. I'm trying to get chest to chest. I'm trying to get here. But for whatever reason, I make a mistake, and Corey starts to try to hit that Kimura. So he sits up, boom, he gets here, right? I don't like any of that, right? Now, the difference in between defending and escaping is when you defend, that means you're here, right? Like if I just hold the inside of my pants here, that's just me defending. Now, what we're going to do is an escape and attack all at the same time, because I'm a jerk. So, with this, all we're going to do is I'm going to look to snap my wrist into my belly button here. As I do that, I bring this hand in, and I connect to his wrist and my wrist. I'm going to sit up here, ripping this way, re-grip Kimura.
I think that would have been and when that would happen.
Yeah. So I'm here, Corey grabs, boom. I shove this hand in, grabbing for his wrist that is over the top. I'm here, I pinch my elbow, and I'm looking to rip towards his hips here. So I'm here, I'm looking to go this way with it. Hips, chest, back, there's a lot of explosion here. Nice part with this is if you hit it right, normally they start to freak out right about here. And then you just go for the finish. Now, once you get it up here, then you can start going back for the true Kimura grip or start straightening out for the straight arm bar. Let's turn this way. You guys can see the grips here. So Corey goes up, I'm here. I'm going to leave it out here just so you guys can see it. This hand comes in, grabs his wrist, grabs my wrist. As I'm here, I bring my hips in, float up, start attacking him. You can't Kimura me, I'm Kimura you.
Is this the same thing as what Gavin and Molly do?
Yes.
But they don't finish it. Like they finish it before going to the back. Like are they going? Are they?
Yeah, they're ripping.
More?
They're just gripping.
Okay.
So that's all they're doing. Like for the most part, what ends up happening is people commit their hands, and so you end up in just a wonky position. Corey's letting go because he knows what the hell's going on. So like if I'm here, and Corey's dumb and commits his hands here, as I come up, that's where it starts to hurt. That's why he's letting go. That's why you're tapping earlier.
They do a spin around armbar up.
Yeah, and you can spin armbar into it, but like I said, try that out just so you guys have another tool in the toolbox, then we'll get some live in. 1, 2, 3.